What is up everybody? I am super excited to be doing today's video because as you can see I've got a fabulous new device on my desk today and I thought I'd do a quick unboxing of my brand new iPad Air which I just got. I'm going to talk to you about why I like it, what's so special, and just to show you a bit of the difference between this and the 7th generation iPad that I had previously. I'm going to do an unboxing. I'm going to show you some of the key traits and everything. I'm not really going to show you about the Apple Pencil and the Magic Keyboard, which I do have, but I'm going to do it in a separate video to tell you about what it's like and what the user interface is like. So today we're going to be talking all about the new iPad Air. Okay, so this is what it looks like. The box is absolutely amazing. Let me give you a bit of context about the iPad and my personal usage. Okay, so I have a MacBook Pro that I use for work all day long, but I'm a heavy user of the iPad ever since day one, since they launched the first iPad back in I think 2010. I remember going to the Fifth Avenue Apple store in New York and getting myself one of those, and I've had one model ever since. They kind of I've been releasing new models. I've been buying all those models over the years. I do use it pretty heavily, not necessarily for work, so I don't use iPad as my primary device for work. But for example, when I step from here into my living room and I want to read the magazines or the newspapers, or just to jot down my notes or music, everything is on my iPad, especially when I travel. Okay, I've also heard a lot of reviews saying that this iPad Air is powerful enough to be used as a replacement to your MacBook Pro. I'm going to try that for a couple of days and get back to you and tell you what I think of that. However, for now, and I am possibly going to consider seeing how I can transfer some of my work onto the iPad. Okay, so for now I'm just going to show you. So this is what the box looks like. Here, it's a really nice, elegant box with this beautiful colors on this. So it says iPad Air 256 GB, 4th generation, Wi-Fi plus cellular. In India, this is at about 80,900. Okay, so we're just going to open it up a bit. I've already taken out the plastic. So I did open this up earlier when I got this a couple of days ago. I put it back in the box for this unboxing. So this is what it looks like. Okay, I'll show you. So this is it inside. I'm gonna pull this out. Of course, inside there's the material, the literature, there's a charger wire, and of course a plug, which is really nice. Let's have a first look at what it looks like. Okay, so this one is a 10.9-inch liquid retina display. I want to compare this with the previous one, the 7th generation that I had, which is a 10.2-inch. So there's a 0.5, half an inch of a difference between the screen. I'm going to put these two together and see. Honestly, it's barely noticeable when I put the iPads together. When I put the iPads together, it's barely noticeable. But when I hold the new one in my hand, I can tell that it's actually slightly bigger, half an inch bigger. But otherwise, if I put it, you can just see a slight growth in size. Okay. Let me also talk to you about the difference. Like, I've never used an iPad Air before. I've always been a classic iPad user, and as you can see, the iPad has a more curvy design on the edge, like the curvy design here, which is really cool, which I've always really liked. And this one has got a nice geometric design, so it really is like a flat pad, with these really straight lines, as you can see. I'm gonna probably focus the camera a little later and show you what it's like a bit later. So that's what it says. It has this nice little element here. It's got the speakers and the mic over here. Now what's interesting is I'm going to just hold both these up together. This is what they look like. Oops, let me just hold them right. And there's one big difference that you're going to notice between the two, is that this one has no home button. So you had the home button here where there was the fingerprint ID, the touch ID. Okay, so what Apple's basically done for this new iPad Air is they've removed the whole home button, so you have much more screen here. So this is where the touch ID is on the top screen. So I'm just going to activate it. I've already activated on my index finger. Put my hand here and that's what it is. It did I have to say that it's taken me a couple of days. I've been using it for 3 days, and it's taken me a couple of days to not have a home button here. Just like when I shifted from the previous, I think it was the iPhone 8 if I'm not mistaken, into the iPhone 10, where they had done away with the home button if I'm not mistaken. So that's when I kind of got used to it. So once again, I'm going to show you. This is what I do. I'm going to activate the screen by just touching it. So I've activated this finger and this finger because essentially I would be using it like this or like this. I would not be necessarily using my thumb or whatever. There is no way of, I mean, just like in the phone, I'm currently using the 12 Pro, and you swipe up assuming you're so used to just swiping up assuming that it'll recognize your face. So here it does not recognize your face. You've got to kind of key in your passcode or just touch it up. In terms of the screen quality, I definitely noticed that there's a huge difference. I know with the liquid retina 10.9-inch display, it's really very superior quality. You've got the volume buttons here on the side. What else do I have to say about it in terms of my initial impressions? I think it is definitely much faster. I mean, this iPad was the 7th generation iPad was already much quicker. I really had no complaint with this, and it was working just fine, but this one is working even faster. I think it's also because it's powered by a really powerful, the A14 Bionic chip, which is really powerful. Yeah, so this is pretty much it. In terms of on my hands, it definitely does feel bigger than the previous one. It is maybe slightly heavier, but it feels really snug. In fact, I really prefer somehow these straight lines as opposed to the curves now that I'm using it. So I've spoken about the main key differentiators here in the new iPad Air. The fact that I no longer have a home button. I'm using the Touch ID at the top of the it kind of takes a bit of getting used to. I think I'll get it in another week or so. The apps are definitely loading much quicker. The photographs are looking like definitely looking up much more stunning on it doesn't really translate on to this onto this video how good the quality of the screen is. Other than that, I've kind of started using the Apple Pencil. The Apple Pencil is really cool, so I'm just going to show you this. I'm going to do a detailed review of the Apple Pencil and whether you should really get one or not. And I like this little magnet on the side where your Apple Pencil just fits in quite effortlessly. So essentially you are, I mean, philosophically and existentially, you're going down to the basics where you're doing your slate and your pencil like you had in school, and you're just walking around with a slate and a piece of chalk or whatever. So this is what I've been using. I'm just gonna show you a quick little trick. While you do have the Notes app that you kind of will use and jot down with your Apple Pencil, you can also wake up your your iPad Air when it's in lock mode by just tapping it, and you just type on it, which is really nice. I'm going to do a detailed video of that. So anyway, all in all, I think this is a great device. I'm very happy to be starting to use it. I've got the Magic keyboard here. I'm not going to talk about it right now because I want to do another video on the experience of using the Magic keyboard. I just wanted to give you my initial first impressions of this. And I mean, I have not really downloaded any new apps to use other than some of the notebook apps, which I'm going to show you. Other than that, they were all the same apps. I just kind of transferred it really quickly. That's pretty much my first impressions of the new 10.9-inch iPad Air. Leave me a comment, tell me what you think. I'd love to hear from you, and hopefully we will do some more videos like this soon. I'd love to hear from you if you have one of the iPads or any other tablet, and if you have some feedback or some changes or some kind of views to share with me, please do share them with me in the comment section. Until my next video.